So there are rows and rows of potatoes here to be dug, and we have combines that come by and pick up rows, but we have something we call a crossover that comes down and it picks up 4 rows. So it takes these 4 rows and it digs them up and it drops it between 2 more rows right here. And so he's just coming down with his 4 rows into between these rows, and then the combine will come and pick this up. And so instead of the combine just digging 2 rows, it'll actually pick up 6. So you're gonna see my shadow just because of the way the light is as he comes by, but we'll get to see. So he's picking up the 4 rows in the machine. They go up the chain and then they drop on the crossover chain, which is the chain that crosses over and dumps them into the rows. So that's 4 rows of potatoes. And then the chain keeps going and it dumps the vines off. There. Okay, so if we had a 2-row digger, these 2 rows and the 4 from the combine would be dropped right here and it would dig up these potatoes. But we have a 4-row combine, so here comes another crossover. They work as a team, and he's picking up 4 rows of potatoes right here, these 4 rows of potatoes, and he's dumping them in between here. So now when the combine comes, it picks up 4 rows from the ground, and then it picks up 8 rows that the 2 crossovers have placed in between them. So that's what this crossover is doing, is it's coming and it's going to dump some on the ground for the combine to pick up. It works the same as the other crossover. It's just one crossover, the chain crosses over and dumps on the left, the driver's left, and the other one comes and drops on the driver's right. So will be a little in shadow because we're first thing in the morning. It's just after 8 o'clock when we're starting. So you can see it picks up the row, brings it up the... Okay, so they're dug up, the dirt and the vines go with it to keep the potatoes from being bruised. And as it goes along those chains, there's spaces for the vines, or for the potatoes to drop through. The vines and the dirt get dropped on the ground, and then here come the potatoes. Like a good crop of potatoes. Okay, this is a pass that the combine's going to come by and get. So there's 4 rows in the ground that it's going to dig, and then it's going to get the 8 rows. 4 rows from one combine, 4 rows from one crossover, and 4 rows from the other crossover that have been dumped into the line. And dig those up and load them into a truck. Okay, here's the potato digger, the combine. And it's digging 4 rows out of the ground. I just ran to get out in front so I'm all out of breath. Anyway, and then it's picking up the 4 rows each that the crossovers have put down and loading it into the spud truck. So, it goes up on a chain or belt where the potatoes, the dirt and the vines are separated. So we just load the truck with potatoes. Hi everybody. In the back there's a fan to blow the vines and the dirt off the potatoes as well. And then once the truck is full, how we do it on our farm is we take those potatoes for storage. Alright, this is the cellar where the potatoes are stored. They're all being loaded in there as they go off the trucks onto the belts, and then they go into the cellar. Okay, so this is where the trucks come to unload for the storage in the cellar. They back up to the stinger where they unload. Potatoes go across the table, they come across some rollers, and the ones that are small come off this belt onto this piler, and they get loaded in a semi, and we store them in a different cellar. So it's just a way to kind of pre-sort the size. So there's the bin, and then there's the table, the ladies on the table. You can see them inside the tarp. And then this part is where the rollers are, where the small potatoes come off, and then the larger potatoes go on these belts into the cellar.